Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, in the last segment, we were talking about how Obama and the federal bureaucracy are expanding like a cancer. And of course, they always do it by finding some kind of a seminal moment, some kind of an emergency, some felt need. They push on people's fear, just as this whole thing we see with the FCC moving to take over control of the internet with 3 politically appointed commissioners going to control the entire internet. How did that start? That started with a reaction to the Titanic sinking and people saying we need to have better communications. We see the same thing happening with the FAA. They've even planted a little drone on the White House lawn to show people that things are very serious, or they highlight the incidents of somebody flying a drone at a very high elevation so that it might collide with a plane. But they seize on these incidents and then go way beyond any authority that they have under the Constitution. And then once they establish their authority, they will continue to move the barriers. That's what the founders understood, especially about the Second Amendment. They said, make no law restricting freedom of religion or speech, but they knew that the way they would come after the Second Amendment would not be with a blanket law prohibiting everything. No, they would come little by little. They would take that fence that keeps them out and they would move it a couple of inches in and keep infringing, just as your neighbor would move the fence on. If you let it stand, it becomes his property. The way Obama is doing this now is coming after ammunition. He says that he's going to ban bullets, and he's working with, guess what? A federal bureaucracy to write laws that Congress will not write, to ban bullets by executive action. So he's going to, as promised in the article we have on Infowars.com, it says Obama is now using executive actions to impose gun control on the nation, because that's precisely what he's doing when he comes after the ammunition. Now, in another article that we have today, Kit Daniels points out that AR-15 ammo is not armor piercing. That's their excuse. They say these are cop-killing bullets. We have to remove these because they're armor piercing. Not according to the law. The ATF nevertheless is going to ban it anyway because they don't read the regulations. They don't read the Constitution. The broad regulation of the Constitution is something they're not concerned with, so they're not going to read the fine points. But here's what the fine point says, just so you know how they're violating the law. He says the ATF is trying to ban M855 AR-15 ammunition by declaring it armor piercing despite the ammo containing lead, which exempts it from the classification according to the law. And he quotes the law here, and he says, to be considered armor piercing, a bullet must have an entirely metal core or have a jacket weighing more than 25% of its weight, which wouldn't include the M855 rounds because their bullets are partly lead. There you go. Doesn't even qualify under their own regulations. But they don't care what their regulations say. The law is in their mouth, just as it is in Obama's. Obama can't violate the law because he is the law. Whatever he says is the law. And we see this attitude from the president down to the cop on the street. Take a look at this cop confronting an open carry activist who is not even violating any presumed state laws.
Then the officer clearly, and you can hear it plain as day, the officer says, you're not under arrest and you're not being detained.
I do not consent to questioning and I do not have ID.
You can try all you want with your constitutional bull, all right? Dude, look, you can try this constitutional crap all you want, but I got news for you, okay? I'm part of that 3% that you're trying to represent.
Here's the bottom line. If you respect the contents of a document, you don't refer to those contents as crap and bull.
So do you think anything's going to happen to that officer who says that the Constitution he swore to is total BS and acts as if he feels that way? He made another interesting statement in that. He said, if you don't show me your ID, how do I know that you're not a felon? If you violate the Constitution, how do I know that you're a law officer? That's another question we could ask him. We're very concerned about the violations that we see coming against the First Amendment because the FCC has in the past regulated speech content. And they currently regulate a lot of things that should fall under protected political speech. They currently do that. So we know they're going to use this as censorship. We know they're going to regulate speech. We know that Obama is trying to infringe on the right of the people to keep and bear arms. It isn't about having a rifle on the wall is about being able to use it. Of course, they can take that away if they can take away your ammunition. But we should be very concerned even about the rights that are protected under the 9th Amendment. Remember, the 9th Amendment says that the enumeration in the Constitution, we've specifically put in things about free speech, freedom of religion, the right to keep and bear arms. Even if we didn't put these rights that we possess from God, even if we didn't put them in explicitly, that means that those certain rights that we still possess shall not be construed to deny or disparage others that are retained by the people. So we delegate those to the government.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems and enhance overall health. Introducing the new InfowarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation, a highly advanced nutraceutical form of this key herb that has been traditionally used by civilizations for thousands of years to promote health. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market, sourced from top leading manufacturers to ensure a concentrated level of bioactive ingredients, extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules. You will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Wild crafted from the Mediterranean oregano species that experts agree is one of the most powerful and most challenging to acquire. This winter season, it's more important than ever to secure this true form of oil of oregano. Now available in our limited first run at InfowarsLife.com. That's InfowarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.